Good morning, Nina. Hey, how you doing? How you been doing? When the chat get in here, y'all come on in. Thank you. Look, honey, this one of these get up and go. One of these get up and go hairstyles. I don't have to do nothing to it. Uh, Something real quick. I'm good. I'm doing real good. I have a new grandbaby. I have a new granddaughter. Her name is Justice. So I've been going through that new grandmama phase. Have me a beautiful granddaughter. So I have 5 grandkids now. So um, that's what they do. They keep me busy. Everybody hit that like button if you don't mind when you come in the chat. Support. I just want to jump in on this Romeka. Yes, thank God. Like, I didn't thoroughly follow the case because it was sensitive. It's real sensitive when you're dealing with things like that, especially as myself, because I lost a child 19 years ago. Next year in April will make 20 years. But the thing is, as I shared with some of you, I have not gotten justice for my child. So it's been 19 years. Um, my son case is really, it's a closed case right now because of lack of evidence and witnesses. So that's why I wanted to chime in on this with the Romeka case. I'm so happy. Anytime, because I know justice for that mom, I know my day gonna come. You know what I'm saying? So I know that's gonna always be hope for me. I'm always happy for a family that gets justice for whoever, a family member. I'm just gonna say, because it could be, especially when it's your child, you want justice, you know. So Ramika win is a win for me. Ramika win is a win for me. Every situation is different. My situation is a little. Everybody don't receive. That. With me, I had an arrest, but I just want to point something out. I'm gonna give everybody a chance to get in here. It's always justice for Ramika. Yes, justice for Angelo, justice for Marcus, justice for so many, Trayvon Martin, like Sabrina, like our stories. We didn't get that. It's so many families didn't get that, and we can't say that. We know the people that done it. We know the people that committed the crime. We know they the people that done it, but we didn't get that opportunity to sit in front of a judge and a jury. So that's the difference. But I'm so happy for Bromika and her family, but you know, we got to pray for a conviction now. They don't make the arrest. But one thing I could say about the arrest, um, hey Tisa, good morning. Exactly, Gigi. I'm praying that your son would get his justice as well. Thank you, Nina. I am from Sri Lanka. Good morning to you. Thank you, Malik. Yeah, so I'm not gonna wait for no one to get in here. I have 6 people in the chat. If you all don't mind, please hit that like button, because this right here, this is dear to my heart. Like, I'm so happy. I was hearing about it. It was just so much controversy um during this time for this family. See, me, I know something like that, I couldn't have handled that. with all that back and forth, and and being that this case is so big, you know what I'm saying? But I'm so happy. Like, I'm really happy, so happy. She was a beautiful young lady that didn't deserve that. And we see this happen so many times with young ladies and with relationships. It could be anything, no matter what it is, but we got justice. That's all that matter. We got an arrest. But right now we need that conviction, and we need all that evidence, and it's critical. And the reason why I'm happy, another thing I'm happy for, because the time that they took to make the arrest. And I want to say this. So many times when you're dealing with a homicide, we be want, why they ain't making an arrest? Why they didn't make an arrest? Why they didn't? It's good. It's good that they didn't. Yes, to everybody else on the outside looking in, it was like, why they didn't make an arrest? It's good that they didn't, because they were able to make sure every rock that was, they want to make sure they was able to uncover, turn every rock. Because when you're dealing with a homicide, because people be like, how people beat cases? A homicide is the hardest case to beat. You make one mistake, if you make one mistake, you could flop on on a case like that. That's just like with the Trayvon Martin case. The evidence was there, but the charge. So you got to make sure when you gather the evidence, you have to have all the correct evidence. You can't charge somebody with capital M, but the evidence don't say capital M. You got to have real strong evidence for you to say that. So being that they took their time, the detectives, to gather the information, because it took so long, because they got to get the witnesses, that be the hardest. Get somebody to come forward. That was my biggest thing, my flop in my case. My witness went back on their word. My witness was threatened. My witness waved the white flag and said, I don't want no parts of it. My witness even went as far as it was a letter wrote, and that they signed off stating that the people that was involved, they had the right people. They had the right people. But the witness, they threatened the witness. The witness said they kept getting threats. The witness wasn't saying anything. The witness signed something, sent it to the state attorneys, and said that the people that they had, that they was not the guys. But that wasn't true. So I thank God, even the witnesses, and that sometimes witnesses are the hardest ones that don't want to come forth, because they don't want no parts of it. They don't want the backlash. And another thing, especially when you haven't made an arrest, and when the witnesses know that the people that's involved with it and they still out, it be hard to make that arrest. But I thank God for Romeka. Um, in that case, like when the detectives are gathering the information, and when they want to make sure, like even with the baby daddy, even if they come after him, they still got to get evidence to make sure he probably won't get the first degree, but they still have to be, he could be somebody that tamper with it. He could, whatever part he played in it, if they do want to charge him in something involving her, but they got to make sure they get the right evidence to fit whatever his involvement was that caused that to happen, with her. So they just can't say, oh, we're going to charge him with this. You get what I'm saying? They can't just do that. And a lot of times, like I said, I pray that any of you not in a situation like that, that you don't have to live through anything like that and just being dragged out. And I'll tell anybody, do not rush. Let the detectives do their job. Let them do their job. Because if you cannot just make an arrest. That's the easy part, making the arrest. But if you make the person what you, and a lot of people don't know, like in my situation, and the only reason why I know a lot of this, because I learned a lot of this through my son case, and a lot of things I was uneducated, and a lot of things I didn't know, a lot of things nobody told me. I had to learn on my own, step by step. That's why I will tell anybody, Don't you don't want no if the evidence ain't there to prove it. Because once they make an arrest, they got to charge them with something. You get what I'm saying? So even if they make an arrest and they charge the individual with a lesser charge, sometimes it's good to charge with a lesser charge because they can still up the charge if they have the evidence to fit it. So yeah, sometimes they'll charge somebody with something and they'll be like, well, why are they charging them with that? Because they can always go back with the evidence that they can prove the evidence to say, okay, well, we could up this to this once it hits the state attorney's desk. So once the detectives all they work, they do the foot leg, they draw it up, and once they present it to the state attorneys, then the state attorney's gonna view it and say, okay, it's a go, we could go with it, and then that's when they would make an arrest. But rushing it, I'm glad the family, even though the family was going through a lot, I didn't even really follow the story. I didn't want to follow the story because I know it was a sensitive story and it probably would have had me real pissed to the highest festivity. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a mom that lost a child 19 years ago. So those detectives, they did a good job. They made the arrest, and I hope and pray that the witnesses, because they're gonna protect the witnesses. It used to be, I know, because I'm in Florida, but they used to have it where they would have certain things, but now they have a thing where nobody can't find out who the witnesses is. Because it used to be people would know who it is, but now it's a law. There's a law for witnesses too. Even though they go into protective custody, but it's another law. I can't think of the law, but it's another law. I don't know. It may be other places too. But in the state of Florida, it's another law where they really protect them. They hide their names where nobody won't even know who the witnesses are. So that way the witnesses can feel comfortable. So that way when they come out with their witnesses, they could come out with them. So those witnesses will be protected, their names will be protected and everything. So their names or nothing won't be leaked out. So I'm glad. I know in Florida they passed that law for us. But I'm happy for that family. But like I said, like when it comes to homicides, you have to handle a homicide like a newborn baby. Good morning, Sabrina. Okay, thank you. Were there any countries formed? Man, we get Bullwink or whoever Bullwink is. Get them out of here. Ain't nobody got time for that. Me too. It's sure enough. It's justice for Romeka and her family to heal and peace from the unalive. You know what I'm saying? It's they still they made the arrest, but we still got to get a conviction. So we still got to pray for the conviction. So that part is. And another thing that a lot of people don't know, like with my son case, I hate that they made the arrest because the people that was involved in my case, they actually still walking. I didn't go to court. I haven't been to court. So the people that's involved, the two guys that was arrested for my son case, they could never be charged again for the same thing, premeditated and all that. They could never be charged for my son and my little cousin. Um, the homicide, they could never be charged again because the evidence that we had, it flopped. Unless I have more concrete, credible evidence, they could be charged, but they could never be charged with what they, because they call it double jeopardy. So I actually had an arrest. So now it's like my son case is just, it's a closed case right now. They can't even touch it. They won't even. So at this point, it's let God have to be the judge and the jury at this point. You get what I'm saying? So that's how my case is. They could never be charged again because of that. And a lot of times we want that arrest, and a lot of people don't know. Even if they haven't made an arrest, the good thing about it and what I hate about my case, I wish they wouldn't have never made an arrest. I wish, now that I know what I know now, I wish they wouldn't have never made an arrest because my case would have been considered a cold case. Yes, they can always go back and open my case, but my case still not considered a cold case. A cold case is only when they don't make an arrest. And a lot of people don't know that. That's the only way a case go cold because there have not been an arrest. So once they make the arrest and they arrest someone and they charge them with it, it's no longer an arrest. In my situation, the people that was involved in my case, they walked. My witness was tampered with. So the witness that we had, I later found out I had another witness, but they wouldn't use that witness. So the case actually closed because they really say, oh, we don't have nothing now. We don't have no more leads. But if we have any other witness that can come forward, we can charge them, but we can't charge them for what we charged them the first time. So that's how my case going. The guys, they could never be charged for the premeditation and all that. They could be charged if new evidence come forward, if new witness come forward and say, oh yeah, they did it. But other than that, it's closed. But I would have rather for my son case to been a cold case. So that way they could have thoroughly did the investigation, did the foot leg, go back, and maybe people later on would have changed their minds. So in my case, and many other cases, and I understand people be wanting an arrest, but a lot of times it's not good to make an arrest. It's not good. I know y'all probably saying, why she saying that? Why? It's not good. It's not good because the backlash that you will get once they make the arrest. It's just like you get slapped in the face 2 times. You get hit twice. That's what happened to me. That's what happened to me and my aunt with our case. We have a cold case. It's not even cold. Our case is not considered cold. We can't even go through Crime Stoppers. We can't get no help. Because Crime Stoppers is like a non-profit organization where people put money in to help families get the help they need to get the leads that they need to make an arrest. That's why you got so many cases. That's why they be like cold case, because they never made an arrest. So, I thank God for giving me the strength that I do have, knowing that it's been finna be 20 years, y'all. For me, it's finna be 20 years. No new leads, no arrests. The people that done it, they still walking around. I know who they are. You get what I'm saying? But I still have to trust God. Because I know God say vengeance belongs to God. So that's where my faith walk is. I'm trusting God in it. That I got to trust him no matter what, because I know vengeance belongs to him. He will handle that. He will take care of the people. They may think they have gotten away with what they did to my son and my little cousin, but they haven't gotten away. But I thank God for the strength that he's given me. And at the end of the day, when I realized my situation and what it was, I had to start working on myself to allow myself not to become bitter. I wanted to become better, so that way I can advocate, that I can be a voice when it's needed. I can let my voice be heard when it's necessary and when it's needed. A lot of times I don't always talk about my son, but I feel like I can relate to this situation. I can relate to it because I clearly understand, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy that that family getting what's theirs. Now we got to pray for the conviction. We don't got the arrest evidence. They don't made the arrest. Now we got to pray for the conviction. Now we got to continue to pray that everybody that's involved, all witnesses, that they stay in place. They don't redact. They don't go back in their word on their word. All the witnesses that make sure they still come forth to be a voice for Romeka. You get what I'm saying? That they will continue to say, we're going to do this for her. We're going to be the voice. We're going to stand on the stand. And we're going to point the person out and say, you did that. So that's the next step to what's going on with the Romeka. We got the arrest. Good. But now it's conviction time. Now we got to go to trial. Now we got to take it to trial. Now the person got to be proven, regardless of what the evidence there, but now you got to prove this. You got to prove, the evidence got to prove. Because at the end of the day, no matter how nobody want to look at, that person still is innocent until proven guilty. So kudos to those, the ones that stood in the gap and saying, no, it was you, it was you. A person like, with my son, people was like coming telling me things. Oh, this what happened to XYZ. And I used to tell people, y'all telling me, y'all telling me and y'all telling through third party, but telling me about what happened and who was involved. That's not helping me. Go tell it to the detectives. Are you willing to stand on the stand and say it? Because it don't mean nothing you're telling me. See, a lot of people can come tell you, oh, who it was and what it was, but it don't help the family because you're telling them that. You got to go present the information to them. Are you willing to stand on the stand? Are you willing to write a report to say it was them? That's what means a lot to the family. That's what means a lot. I see everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for coming in my chat. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Press to support the message this morning. And I'll go back and read the boy that on the line, my cousin, got time served. So sad, all that trial. That's what I'm, Sabrina, when I tell you, people don't understand. When you're dealing with a homicide, and if that evidence is not concrete, if that if they charge somebody with something, what does the evidence say? That's how allegedly that's how Zimmerman was able to win the case when it came to Trayvon. It wasn't that they had all the evidence, but what they charged him with, the evidence didn't fit the charge. So if they would have lesser Zimmerman charge, Zimmerman would have got a conviction when it came to Trayvon. But because of the evidence didn't fit the charge, that's why he was able to walk. Not that he didn't do it, he did it, but the evidence. So we got you got the way they have these laws when it comes to homicides. It's crazy. It's crazy. And families like yourself and many others, myself, it's easy. It's easy for a person to beat a case like that. So we got to pray that this girl is charged with first degree, but that evidence got to be concrete to say it's first degree. That evidence got to say it's first degree. Or if they feel like once they do everything, they say, I don't know, maybe we can lesser it. So they went to the higher, but then yet they could still go lower. You get what I'm saying? But this is what she's being charged with. So the evidence that they have, that is saying first degree. You get what I'm saying? That's what it's saying. So I know a lot of you want to know why it's taking them so long. I'm telling y'all, it's a good thing that they did take that long. It's good that they took that long. That's a good thing. No, I said it's a good. See, when they first happened to me, it didn't sound like a good thing, and I'm saying it's a good thing because I know, because of the lack of understanding that I had. I was a mother that lost a child. I didn't know what to do. I was a young mother when I lost my child. I didn't know what to do. People around me didn't know what to do. I had crooked cops around me. Lack of evidence with state attorneys. My police at that time, the police department was crooked. They was working with the outsiders. You get what I'm saying? So you didn't know who to trust. I didn't know who to trust. We later found out our police department went under investigation and everything. Cops was getting fired because of the things that they were doing and leaking our information to the public with the criminals. All that. My son's case got wrapped up in all that criminality with my police department. And that was back in 2006. 2006. They was actually leaking things out. I later found out when I finally, I think it was this year, early this year, I finally was, and I didn't even know when I went to go get when they write up the information, whatever. I went and got pulled up the report on the incident with my son. I read so much into my son thing, where I seen where they dropped the ball. Them detectives, they dropped the ball on my kid. They dropped the ball on my little cousin. And I'm glad that her family, they have to stay on it. They got to stay on it. Stay attentive. Write names. If you somebody, your family, you dealing with that, when you if you got a case, if somebody in this chat and you have a still have a up and going case, make sure every person you talk to, you write their names, every state attorneys, because what they do, this person to have your case, then they'll pass it on to the next person, and then the person they pass it to is lack of information. They're not sharing information. The case will be all over the place. That's what happened to me. I put my trust into a department that I thought was supposed to protect and help bring justice to my son, for not to my son, but for my son and for my little cousin. But I didn't get that because it was so shady, you know? And I'm happy that that family had patience. Romeka, mom and dad and sisters and brothers and cousins, that family had patience. I'm glad they waited. And it wasn't nothing like a rush thing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm happy for them. Let me get into my comments. I just want to talk until I have been crying. Yes, it's real sensitive. Good morning, everybody. The CEOs in Newman unalive my other cousin, and they refuse to give us justice for that. Yeah, they cover it all up. Good morning, Joanne. I'm sure they got enough to charge her. It took too long for them to charge her. They not going to waste taxpayers' money if they didn't have enough. Right. That's why I'm saying I'm glad that it took that long. They all going to jail. They will begin to turn on one another. Just watch, especially Q with the tape we haven't seen yet. Yep. That's the good thing. It's just the witnesses, just praying that the witnesses don't be afraid, and like they protect them, and they got to have some good concrete evidence, because that evidence, lack of evidence, it'll destroy it'll destroy something. I have 27 peoples in the chat. All you got to do is hit the like button. That's it. That's all I ask. 24. It don't matter. Y'all can drop whatever. Just support the chat. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to your loved ones, and I've talked about this many a times. You get what I'm saying? Talked about this many a times. When it comes to losing loved ones, and that's not a good feeling. Yes, for them, it's all about the money. Their God is money. But God is so good. Ain't nothing hidden won't be revealed. Believe that. Even the people that's involved with, my son, they ain't got away with nothing. They have not got away with nothing. Nothing. She brings. Oh my God. Nothing at all. I don't have time for stupidity this morning. I ain't got time for stupidity this morning. Today ain't the day, because I could be on my petty, but today ain't the day for me to be petty today. Like, this is very serious. You got people that lost their loved ones, and people not getting the justice. But one thing, to those of you that may feel like you haven't got justice, you got justice. It's just in God's timing. I still have justice, but it's all in God's timing. You know what I'm saying? It's in God's timing. And I'm so happy for that family. Because you got to be a sick individual to it's crazy how, know what, I take that back. It's not crazy. Because when you think of the story of Jesus in biblical terms, he was unalived as well, but they call it crucified. They unalived him. That's what they did. They M him. Y'all know the M word. When you think about in biblical terms, they did him the same way. And the person that they didn't want, the person that was being a havoc, but they wanted to do this person, but yet he still say, Lord, forgive them because they know not what they do. Y'all know how many times I used to have to quote that? I said, when it first happened, with tears in my eyes, and I used to have to pray that prayer, Lord, forgive them, because they know not what they do. As a mother, and I know you still walking the streets, and I got to pray a prayer of that. Lord, forgive them, because they know not what they do. To keep my insanity, to keep me from like, oh, it's up there, stuck there. Oh my God. That's not, I don't know, Gregory. When I tell you, it wasn't easy in the beginning. Good morning, Becca. It wasn't easy in the beginning for me. It's been almost 20 years that I've been on this journey with my kid. Almost 20 years, no conviction, no witnesses, witness tampered. Didn't even know, I found out last year that my case was closed the same year that my son was unalived in. I didn't even know that because I was a young mother that didn't know and didn't have the tools and didn't have the guidance and didn't have nobody to help me through to tell me how to do it. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't get detectives to come to my house and say, Mom, what happened? Do you know anything? I didn't get any of that. I walked into this thing blindfold with the understanding of what God was downloading into my life to get me through. Because no family should have to go through that. Knowing that you unalive their loved one and you just walking around and doing you. You know how that family felt to know that that young lady did that, and knowing that she did it at the child's school and you still walking around. It's like we want that arrest, but on the other hand, the detective's telling you, just calm down, we got this, trust us. You want an arrest, we need this arrest right now, because it just feel like somebody really dagging you. It's like you getting a whammy all at once. You know what I'm saying? But the forgiveness part, and I'm not telling nobody to do this. This is something that I had to do. I instantly was in a place of forgiveness because it wasn't that my lack of understanding, because of my relationship that I had with God. And I knew that I knew the only way I could get through, I had to trust God. I had to trust him, because if I wouldn't have trusted him, I probably would have lost my mind. I probably would have did some things and set out for vengeance on my own. But when God said vengeance belongs to him, and he had to continue to keep reminding me, daughter, vengeance belongs to me. It's not yours. You don't want that blood on your hand. You get what I'm saying? Vengeance is still God's own. Vengeance still belongs to the Lord. When you know you 19 years later, you still ain't got a conviction. 19 years later, the people that's involved and you know who they are, when you know them, when you see them, they in your neighborhood, they in your community, and they walking around and acting like they ain't did nothing. Baby, that's a vengeance belongs to the Lord. You hear what I'm saying? Hi, PGA. But the forgiveness don't belong to us. It belongs to God. That's why he say forgive them, because they know not what they do. And the forgiveness is for you. And that, because guess what? When you don't forgive a person, it when you it's not that you saying I'm okay with what you done. That's not what you saying. That unforgiveness will eat away at you like a cancer. It will eat away at you like a cancer. And guess what? The people that did it, they're winning. They're winning. But when you find it in your heart to say, Lord, I don't like the way I feel. Lord, I'm angry. I feel this way. I feel that way. But Lord, I need you to work on me. See, I used to pray and ask God to work on me. Lord, I need you to cut this out of me. I need you to get this anger out of me, this resentment out of me. Because if I didn't pray that prayer of God getting those things out of me, it ain't no telling what I could have done, Hey, Auntie Monica, no telling what I would have done. My auntie right here. My auntie right here. Baby, we was getting phone calls and everything. But no, we was saying nope, nope. What's up? We was getting called. What's up? What we doing? What we doing? Oh, we ain't doing that. We trust in the Lord. Huh? You think people didn't want to take vengeance into their hands? Oh, it was many a times. We was getting plenty phone calls. We was getting plenty phone calls. Plenty. But I say nope. Vengeance belongs to God. It don't belongs to me. Because I did not want that on my hand. I did not want nobody blood. I didn't want it on my hand nor my conscience. And I could look back over my life and say, you know what, God, you still good. In spite of not having a conviction. Even though we had an arrest. There were so many things that after everything as years passed on, that God revealed so many things to me and my auntie. And guess what we have to do? With some of the reliable information and some of the stuff that we knew now, God say, now, can I trust you with this? Now that I put this in your hand, can I trust you with it? We had a whole nother person that was in our paperwork. We had another witness in our paperwork that we just found out this year. 18 years later, we found out that it was another person involved, which we knew it was 2 to 3 people that was involved in what was going on. We later found out who the other person is. We later found out that we had a whole nother credible witness that was more credible than the witness that we had. And they kept all that from us. They kept everything from us. We didn't know any of that till now. So guess what? Everybody's story is different. But I'm here to tell somebody who probably going through what me and my auntie Monica, who's right here, that we lost our kids together. They were unalived at her mom's house and my grandmama's house. Both of our babies. Me and my auntie get called on the scene where our children laid out. But God, hey Sean, hey Miss Lasonda, but God kept us because we were a strong family. We was a praying family. And me and my auntie, all we could do is love each other through it. And me and my auntie, we just loved on each other. We even when my auntie was angry, my auntie Monica, see, you would have, if y'all just would have knew the dynamics of me and her, you would have thought that I would have been the person to say, like, these set it off braids, these braids, set it off. I would have been, everybody was looking more for me to be the one. But my auntie, I was calm. I was cordial. Maybe I was the dangerous one because I got quiet. I got silent. I was telling my auntie Monica. My auntie Monica was like, hell to the no, no. My auntie was ready to put on all black. I'm like, no, auntie. My auntie wasn't having it. And I'm like, auntie, we got this. We got each other. That's not what the boys would have wanted. The boys wouldn't want that. That's not what God would want for us. God want to let his light shine through us and let the people that's involved, to let them know what they thought was going to break us. They thought they was going to break us, but we didn't break. We might have bent a little bit, but we didn't break. They made music about our kids. They made music about how they unalived them, what they was going to do, how they was going to do it, all of that. We had all that evidence, and we couldn't even use the music that was that the next day after the music was put out about our kids. We took that to the state attorneys. They say we couldn't use any of that. The music told the story what they was gonna do, and they was like, because it was music is like art, it's entertainment, they couldn't use it. But yet they told a story. Yep, Auntie say I helped her real bad. I thank God for you, Gigi. You welcome, Auntie. Yep, I thank God for what he did in my life, because I know God had to change me, because I know it probably would have got real ugly. It probably, if I wouldn't have calmed myself, it probably would have got ugly. It probably would have. I'm gonna tell y'all, one of the guys that was involved, I went to his house. I went to his house and knocked on the door because I wasn't seeing any of that. Even though I was calm, but I went to his house and I wanted to look him in his eyes because I wasn't seeing any of that. Like, I was like, okay, God, I need you. God, I went right there, knocked on the door, knocked on the door. Then it's another one that's involved. Sometimes I see him, he'll stare at me. I don't see none of that. I be like, boy, I be feeling like that, mama. I be ready to thug it out. I be, I be ready to get in the mud. What you talking about? I be like, I used to be spazzing out on Facebook, baby. Bring your best hitter, baby. I used to be ready to get up down through there about my son, but I thank God for Jesus, Lord. I thank you. But I am so happy for Romeka's family. That family finally got what they wanted. A piece of them can rest now. They can feel better now. I understand because I've been there and I've done that. Me and my auntie, me and my family, we been there, we done that. Not multiple times. Multiple times. Hey, Lucinda. Hi, girl. What is your name? My name is Gigi. Hi, Cuban. What's good, fam? We good. Yep, it's been a minute. Good morning from Cali, Cal. But yeah, so I just wanted to get on here and just, put my little two-piece in it. Because, like, things like this, like, ooh, just to be able to advocate for families and things like that. And if you're a family that you felt like you still, in your beginning stages, make sure you stay on top of things. A lot of detectives don't rush it. If you somebody and you're in a situation where somebody did something like this and they unallow the loved one, don't rush. Do not rush it. Stay on top of them. Stay on top of things for evidence and all that. But do not be so quick to want an arrest. Do not be so quick to want them to make an arrest, because once they make that arrest, that's it. Because it's so easy for that case to flop. All it takes for one person it to throw a monkey wrench in your stuff, it'll mess it up. Yes, I saw that silk. In peace, Romeka. Let's just so I ain't got time for the foolishness. But yeah, I thank God for that young lady and her family, and for anybody who got a problem with somebody unaliving somebody. It's one thing, self-defense, and one thing about it, I'm all for self-defense. I'm all for somebody defending themselves. But you can't bring a weapon to a fist fight. You can't bring if you bringing hands and somebody else bringing hands, they get the best of you or you get the best of them, and then you mad because you took a L. You took a L, so then the first thing you want to do, turn around and come bring a weapon to a pew pew to the fist fight. You cannot do that. That is not self-defense. That is not self-defense. No, I don't think it's been a verdict yet. They already made an arrest. First degree. Hey, that one. It's been a minute. Good morning, Gigi and chat. We'll catch the replay. Thank you, that one. Thankful there is justice for Romeka. Yes, because when it's a win for one, it's a win for all. Making an arrest for now, we need convictions now, so we know. That makes me feel good because I know one day my day gonna come. Our day gonna come. Auntie Monica, our day gonna come. God got us. But we already see our stuff. We ain't even ready. If me and my auntie, we to the place now, yes, we want justice. Yes, we did want justice. Yes, we want to be in the courtroom. But me and my auntie, we already made peace with it if we never get a day in court. But guess what? The people that's involved with our kids, baby, we see what God doing. We see God working on them. We see right before our eyes, we see what God doing. We see it. They ain't happy. They going through things. They got to look over their shoulders and all that. We see God working. So we okay with it. We okay with being okay. Because it's nothing that we can do. We understand that. We don't came to the conclusion. There's nothing we can do. All we can do is continue to trust God. We've been trusting God almost 20 years. Next year, if God's willing, we still be living. It'll be 20 years next year. But guess what? God ain't never failed us. And guess what? And we're going to continue to trust God. We're going to continue to trust him. We're going to continue to let him bless us abundantly. Because we blessed. How do you think you their mothers feel now? I don't know what you talk. I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't really understanding your question. I'm good, but tomorrow I think about, because what I'm trying to do, like when I go live over here on YouTube, I'm trying not to go live like back to back. So because I want my little videos to filter out. God sees all and he will prevail. Just have to be patient. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because when you have patience, God be working on, he be working on you. You be like, oh Lord, you be thinking you be over it. He be like, But God is good. I thank everybody for coming into my chat this morning. Um, and like I say, thank God that Romeka family got what they've been praying for. Look, man, I've been there. I've been that road. I've been that way. So I truly understand. And I'm happy for the family. So I got to get up out of here, y'all. I love everybody. Y'all continue to be blessed. Continue to keep praying because we got other levels to go. The family got to get a conviction now. They got their arrest. Now they need a conviction. So when they go to court, we want to make sure all the witnesses stay where they need to be. Make sure all the witnesses come forth and stand on, don't cop out, and just make sure the witnesses stay intact till they get in trial. So that's the next step. So it's another, it's levels to this. So we thank God for the arrest, and now we praying for a conviction. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll probably see y'all tomorrow. If not, I'll see y'all, I don't know when, but I'll let y'all know. Hey, Miss Divine. Hey, Eminem Latte. I got to get up off here, girlfriend, because I got to get in that building. But I love everybody. Y'all make sure y'all go back and hit that replay. And thank y'all for y'all support this morning. And y'all have a blessed. Bye. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Shanta. Thank you. Thank you very much, love. Y'all have a blessed one. Be blessed.